I'm convinced that this Whirlpool fridge must be haunted because it's constantly making weird sounds, and here's today's. I had another odd sound, and I'll link that video in case you're also ghost hunting. This issue has been going on for a few months now, and it was getting louder, more consistent, and more annoying. If you open up the door and come up to the top jamb, you'll see the model and serial number for your unit. Here's mine. That'll be helpful for when we're looking for parts. This sound always occurred after I heard a fresh set of ice drop into the ice bucket, so I knew it had to do something with the Icemaker. Plus, the sound was clearly coming from that region. To remove the ice bucket, push down on the button on the top and pull straight out. It may take a little force if there's a lot of ice buildup. Note that you'll need to tilt the bucket up to get it up and under this lip. With the bucket gone, you can really hear the sound more and easily and clearly. I hate replacing parts without verifying the issue, so I really want to know where this sound is originating from. This cover over the Icemaker module can be a bit tough, but sometimes the bottom corner is a good spot to pull from. An old mechanic's trick is to put a screwdriver on the location you want to amplify sound. I was wondering if I could just replace the motor, but it's $10 cheaper to replace the entire module. That math is easy enough for me. Now we'll remove this sensor and remove the 3 Phillips screws on each corner of the module. Best to disconnect the power before doing this, as there may be live components. Pull out the Icemaker arm and then pull out the module. After a week of waiting, the new part is in, and they appear to be identical. I'll link the exact part I used below in case you need it too. Reinstalling is the same as removal. Place the module straight onto the Icemaker. There will be a little bit of resistance as the prongs in the bottom left seat into place. Reseat the sensor and then reinstall the 3 screws that keep the module in place. Place the Icemaker ice level arm back into the back of the Icemaker, which will in turn connect into the module. Here's what it looks like through the mirror. This is optional, but if you want your Icemaker to start right away, you'll need to put the fridge into diagnostic mode by holding the first 2 buttons for 3 seconds until the order filter message comes up, and scroll down to test 25, which tests the Icemaker. Carefully jumper the T and H on the module with an insulated wire, which will jumpstart the module. Here's a little tip. If you want to know more about the specs for the parts of your fridge, wiring diagram, or the diagnostic mode, there is a tech service sheet inside the upper right hinge of your fridge, assuming that no one has gotten to it before you. While it might not mean much to some, this little sheet of paper is chock full of useful data in case you were concerned about any parts on the brink of failing, or if you want to know how to test different functions and items on your fridge. You can sometimes find this stuff online, but I don't know. I like the idea of having it on paper for easy reference, and hopefully this digital form can help you in case yours is missing. I mean, look at the wiring diagram. Now that our testing is done and the Icemaker is back to work, we can put the cover back on. And can slip the ice bucket back into place by again lifting it to overcome that lip. It'll take a few hours, but soon you should have ice again and hopefully no more clicking. So what the heck is this thing? Well, this is the Icemaker module that keeps everything working in concert. I also like to call it a timing module because, as the name implies, it keeps everything in time for the Icemaker. It keeps all the various components, whether it's the water fill valve, the heater, the thermostat, etc., working together and in time with each other. And that's why there's all these electrical pathways and connections on the back, so that as this gear here on the front turns, it deactivates and activates different electrical circuits which energize and de-energize these different parts. And quickly, how Icemaker works is it starts by first ensuring that the temperature of the Icemaker is cold enough to actually keep the ice in the solid state. So that's what the thermostat does. Then we want to make sure that there's already not too much ice in the bin, which is what this little lever here does, which connects to the Icemaker fill arm. So once we ensure that there's enough space for more ice, well, then the heater turns on to ensure that the ice won't stick to the mold. And then the Icemaker will allow water to come into the mold to fill that up. And then over time it will freeze. And this is all happening as this dial clicks along. And then, of course, once the ice is frozen, the ejector arms will then kick the ice out, and the cycle will continue and continue. And you'll also notice here, on at least this one, there's these different holes with labels that are actually useful in case you want to electrically verify any of the components that I mentioned, whether it's the thermostat, the water fill valve, the heater, the motor for the actual unit, etc. So I'll point out a couple of these, and I'll also include this chart. But if you want to verify that there's power coming into this module, the L and the N here for line and neutral, you'll want to use your multimeter. And again, this will only work if it's plugged in. And in my case, you have to have it also in diagnostic mode so it supplies power. But you'll put your leads in there and you should get 120 volts with it plugged in. If it's not, then there's an issue with your actual power supply wiring that plugs into this module. So if we have power and it's still not working, well, maybe you want to check that the motor is working. Put your leads between L and M, and you should get a resistance reading of 4,000 to 8,000 ohms with no power. Maybe you're not getting water. You're not hearing that water solenoid kick on, and it could be a bad solenoid, but maybe this thing's not telling it to actually add water. So you can actually jumper like I did with the T and the H to get the Icemaker to start. You can actually jumper the V for valve, the water valve, and the line. So you can jumper these two, again, being very careful, and you should hear the water fill. If it doesn't, then there's an issue there. Let's say maybe your heater's not working. Well, you can also, again, get your meter and check the resistance between H for heater and L for line. And using the spec sheet provided, tell if that is within spec or not. Lastly, if you want to verify that the thermostat is saying that the temperature is cold enough, you can check the continuity between the thermostat and the heater and see what it's showing. And it should close when the temperature is cold enough, and if it's too warm, it'll stay open. So those are different ways that you can electrically test different components of your Icemaker rather than spending the money, the hundreds of dollars, to replace the entire unit. The last thing I want to mention is if you are getting ice, but there's not enough or too much water filling, you can actually adjust that level here with this screw. And you only want to make small adjustments at a time. And you'll see that the manufacturer includes how much adjustment to make. It's usually a very small amount, but that will change the amount of water that actually goes in to the mold. That will also move this little indicator either left or right. Right now you can see it's kind of in the middle to tell you if that's been adjusted. And if you need help finding any part for your appliance, don't buy from the manufacturer. Find appliance parts websites, I'll put some below, to find a part number and put it into Amazon or eBay. You'll save a lot of money by shopping around, trust me. I know I couldn't cover everything, so hopefully this video either helped you replace your module or helped you diagnose a little bit more into why your Icemaker might not be making ice. If you have any other questions or feedback, please put it below. Thanks for watching, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.